Alright, I'm going to attempt to explain how to play through Master Quest Water Temple in Ocarina of Time Randomizer. First, if all you've got is the gold scale, unless you're on Key Sanity or something, don't bother coming in here. Everything here hard requires the iron boots, as there are no longer any torches at the bottom that you can long shot to. I'm not sure whether you should do Central Pillar or the tower first. I think Central Pillar first should be a slightly more efficient full clear on normal settings, so we'll just go there first. This whole route will be assuming that you're doing a full clear, but the right call is probably just to head for Morpha at the first reasonable opportunity and never look back. Start by lighting these torches at the top of the room. If you're using fire arrows, you should know that the hitbox on lighting the torches is a little bit jank. If you've never done it before, you might want to consider saving first, just in case you end up wasting all your magic or arrows trying to get these things lit. But if you're using Din's Fire, first you have to spawn a Song of Time block in order to get closer to the torches. So you're going to need fire arrows, or Din's Fire and Song of Time. And to go to the bottom of the temple here does still logically require the Zora tunic. For some reason, standing on these blocks causes them to fall through the floor. Hookshot the switch under them. If you take off the boots right away, the camera tends to freak out and you'll get disoriented, so just walk a little bit before taking them off. You have to hookshot this random texture on the wall to spawn the chest. You're going to need lots of magic, so be sure to pick up plenty of jars as you go. And we'll open this chest and save warp back to the entrance. Alright, next we're going to do the tower. For some reason the bomble wall here is just gone, so we'll just go ahead and get that chest first. Again, you have to hookshot that random spot on the wall to spawn the chest. Opening underwater chests is considered a glitch, and so this does logically require Zelda's Lullaby. But in the accessible rule set, you are allowed to open it in this state. You'll need to hookshot the chest and then mash A to get it open. There are some more torches up here to light with the fire source of your choice. The hitbox for lighting these torches with fire arrows is as janky as ever. So, it's annoying torches is my point. And the chest in here again spawns from hookshotting a random wall texture. If you're in go mode, you might want to beeline straight for hookshotting this texture. You can target it, so it's a little bit easier to hookshot. You can check the chest before bothering to fight the Stalfos. If the chest has your boss key, you can just leave. All that defeating the Stalfos do is allow you to leave the room. And it probably is the best way to continue with the temple, just to take them out. Now, if Skull Sanity is off, and you don't know that the check at the bottom of the tower will be a required key, what you can do is try to save scum the water level here. That check at the bottom is the only chest in the dungeon that hard requires Zelda's Lullaby, and it's going to be the only reason you'll actually have to lower the water. That's if Skull Sanity is off. So if you go in there and the chest has nothing you need, you can just reset back to the entrance and skip having to raise the water back up again. To get into this room requires either bow or Din's Fire. If using a bow, sometimes this torch will just not light no matter what you do. The trick is to take a step back and try it from there. Janky torch hitboxes is a theme in this temple, it seems. This time, though, the chest spawns from killing the enemies. Now, on normal settings, you would want to head back to the entrance and raise the water level back to the top. But if you're on Skull Sandy, there are a few more skulltula checks we're going to do first. But first, I want to show you a way to get back up to the top floor from the bottom. You can hookshot the target. They added some targets to the central tower. And you want to hookshot the very top of it. If you hookshot the bottom, you'll just fall. And going back, walking backwards out of the room like this, whether or not that's faster than save warping probably actually depends on what console you're on and whether or not you have the hover boots. But N64 with the hover boots, I would say save warp. Otherwise, I'm not sure. So, going for the skulls, we're going to head into the central pillar now and bring the water back up to the middle level. If you have the fire arrows, actually, you might actually want to consider going for the central pillar chest here. But with the torches farther away and the janky hitboxes, it's up to you if you want to attempt it. But it figures to be a slightly cleaner route. Leaving the central pillar, head to the right and over to the switch, over here, and into the hallway. Behind the gate up ahead, there's a torch, and you have to use Din's fire to light it. Fire arrows will not light that torch. And then you can get the skulltula token. Don't come here if you don't have Din's fire. There's nothing you can do. You probably have to kill that Lizalfos, so you can hookshot back up to this target in peace. Now you want to fall straight down and head back this way. There are some boxes in this room that you want to haul back to the central pillar. Now if you have the hover boots, you can throw those on and cross the gap back to the central pillar easily. But if you don't, then you have to try to make the jump, and it works or not arbitrarily. You can see here, I usually do make it across, but sometimes we'll just fall in for no discernible reason. There it goes. And that jump was no different from the others, it's arbitrary. Now you might think, oh, well, we'll make a consistent setup by getting flush against this wall and pause buffering full forward. But that's actually a setup to fail it 100% consistently. So you don't want that. So if you do want to set up to make this jump consistent, what I would say is get flush against the back wall like this, hold straight left, now pause buffer forward out of moving to the left, and now it works. That's a master quest for you. Put the box on this switch and go through the door. Now inside this box to your left, there's a switch. It spawns some hookshot targets. You're going to want to kill this Lizalfos, and then you have to long shot up through the hole in the ceiling. The hookshot does not reach. You must have long shot to be able to get this skulltula, and it's inside this box. Now going through this door will bring you right to the water level switch, and that's the end of the Skull Sandy specific route. We've reconverged. But I want to show quickly a way to get up to the top floor from the middle level if you need to do that. You want to stand about here and hookshot the corner of this target and hold forward, and Link should grab. Now a difference from Master Quest is you don't have to make that janky jump. There's a target right there to get you straight to the water level switch. Now with the water level raised, if we have a small key, we can head for Dark Link. And of course, we have the boss key already. We haven't found a second small key yet. You definitely want to just take out Morpha now. Even if you're planning on full clearing, you want to make sure that you find the second small key before you go too far into here. Now hit this switch on the ceiling. Jump down Then you have to long shot over to this specific target. The puzzle in this room is really dumb. But you do need long shot. You can't get through here with anything else, so don't bother even coming this way if you don't have long shot. Hook shot this texture, it makes that target move up, and then you can hook shot up to that and get out of the room. And now what used to be an interesting puzzle has been gutted and replaced with a Stalfos fight. That's another theme here in Master Quest Water Temple. Whatever was there before is gone, and we have Stalfos now. Every puzzle Stalfos. Now you can long shot up to this target after the Stalfos are dead, and then you can defeat Dark Link with whatever method works best for you. The gate here will open if you hookshot the wall. Interestingly, the Song of Time block here is gone. As you swim down the river, if you get up on the 4th or 5th hookshot pillar, 4th one's a little bit closer, but you can still reach it from the 5th one, you can get the skulltula token here on the ceiling. This is the only skulltula that's convenient to get. And if you miss both, you can probably throw on the iron boots and figure out a way to hit the token. Now, that skulltula is the only thing you can grab in here if you don't have Din's Fire. The rest of this dungeon is going to be hard locked by Din's Fire, so if you don't have it, you don't need to come this way. Now, the torches on the ceiling, you can use fire arrows, but you need Din's Fire coming up next anyway, so you might as well just Din's Fire it. I didn't show it, but that wall texture again, if you hookshot that, you can get a magic jar, and you really might need it if you're on Skull Sandy, because you're going to need a lot of magic coming up for this next little section. Now you want to hit the switch, stand on the water jet, and use Din's Fire to light a torch behind the gate. Now, if this chest here has what you're looking for, but there's any chance that Water Temple could still hold an item that you need, then you don't want to save warp out of here. The safe play is to continue through and hit a switch. That switch will open the gates to the final checks of the dungeon. So, just in case you need to come back here, you won't have to go through that whole Darklink path again, just to get to the final check or two. Again, at this point, if you have the boss key, you should probably just go fight Morpha. But if we don't have Skull Sandy on, you can head to the left right now. But for Skull Sandy only, over here to the right, there's a skulltula that you can get. Now, even though we already needed Din's Fire to get to this room, you have to light some torches on the wall, and Din's Fire will not reach. You have to use fire arrows to light these torches. So you will need both fire sources to get this skulltula. Now, to actually get over to where the skulltula is, you have to cross this gap either with the scarecrow or the hover boots. And you might want to just go ahead and deal with these Stalfos, because trying to hookshot the skulltula on the ceiling while they're coming after you is a bit of a task. Now, I think if you're on N64, you probably just want to save warp out of here before going back in the other direction for the checks towards the Vanilla boss key area from Vanilla Water Temple. But on VC, it might be actually faster just to swim back out. Now, normally to get over to this ledge, which is where the rocks usually roll out from in Vanilla Water Temple, to get over to this ledge, normally you need the Scarecrow or the Hover Boots, but there is a precise jump that you can do to skip it. But if you're familiar with the setup that is normally used in Vanilla, that box gets in the way. So unless you know another setup, you might have to eyeball the jump. And the final check in here is the freestanding item in this crate to the left. Normally now you'd probably want to save warp out, but if you're on Skull Sandy, you'll have to fight this Stalfos to get back out of this room, as you'll be continuing to check a pretty terrible skulltula. I want to point out something odd about this door coming up. It's locked. In normal Master Quest, this door is not locked. This is because the flag for whether this door is unlocked is shared with a flag for a switch earlier in the dungeon, and you have to hit that switch in order to get here without glitches. So you normally never see that this door is locked. This was fixed in Ocarina of Time 3D, and it's been fixed here in Randomizer as well. Now you have to light some more torches. And it can be a little bit annoying to position yourself properly on this water jet, but you stand right at the front corner of this jet, you can light all the torches with a single use of DIMS. And then we get a room filled to the brim with Dodongos for some reason. There are two in this hallway you'll want to kill first if you can, because otherwise you'll have to wait for them to meander their way into the center of the room. But it can sometimes be tricky to actually kill those guys in such a confined space. And at last, the skulltula is over here in this box. You've earned it. Just like in Vanilla, we'll need the water at the highest level to get over to Morpha. In the pre-boss room, we need to hit a switch above the door to spawn some targets that we can long shot to. Now it is in logic with just the long shot, but sometimes the long shot won't hit the switch no matter what you do. And if that happens, just try again from standing in a different position and see if it works from there. And if it doesn't, stand somewhere else. Pretty great. And the final challenge here is to not accidentally boss key skip. Almost failed it. And that's Master Quest Water Temple, a master class of level design if I've ever seen one. Good luck out there.